everyone, my name is Aisha Bushby and I'm the author of A Pocketful of Stars. The story is about 13-year-old Sophia who loves video games, her dog Lady, and cheese and Marmite toasties. Sophia's parents are divorced and she lives with her dad because she doesn't really get along with her mum. Whenever they're together, they argue. But one day after a particularly bad argument, Sophia's mum is taken to hospital. And when she goes to visit her mum, she wakes up in a strange new world that's familiar to her for a couple of reasons. One of the ways it's familiar to her is that it reminds her of her favourite video game, Fairy Hunters. I really love playing video games, and Fairy Hunters is based on a few different video games that I've enjoyed. So what I'm going to do now is read you an extract from A Pocketful of Stars, which tells you a little bit more about Fairy Hunters. But before I do that, I want to set you a challenge. I'm going to ask you a few questions at the end of the extract, and I want you to see if you can get the answers right without playing the video back. The extract I'm going to read is from the 5th chapter of A Pocketful of Stars, and it begins just after Sophia comes home from hospital. When we get home, I still feel a little strange. I wave my hand in front of my face and I swear it blurs, just like in the dream. It makes me wonder if I'm still asleep. I blink once, then twice, and hope that everything becomes normal again. But nothing's normal anymore, is it? I want so much to go back to last week before everything went wrong. We're going to see Mum again tomorrow after school, but what am I supposed to do until then? My feet tread the familiar path up to my room, and I automatically jump onto my computer without really meaning to. But as soon as my headphones are on, it feels like the rest of the world disappears. Enter game. I click on the button, which resembles an old scroll, and wait for the screen to load. My bedroom walls pull apart brick by brick, and in their place sprouts an ancient fairy palace. My bed folds up into a giant nest, and instead of street lamps and terraced houses, my windows show me a dense forest as tall as the eye can see. And all at once, I feel calm. The world of Fairy Hunters unfolds around me. I've been playing it since I was 10, and I'm getting pretty good at it now. It's an online game where you're put into teams to battle it out, fairies against wizards. I always choose Team Fairy. The aim of the game is to protect our nest of eggs from the wizards who try to steal them to make potions. There are 4 kinds of fairy on each team: earth, fire, water, and wind. Earth fairies are the protectors. They go in first as they have the best defensive spells to protect their team. Then come the fire fairies, the close-range spellcasters. They need to cast quickly and attack the wizards before they have the chance to defend themselves. Next are the water fairies, the long-range spellcasters. Their job is to cast spells that take more time to conjure but are more powerful. They usually hang back. Then there are the wind fairies. I'm one of them. Our job is to help the rest of the team. Most people don't like playing as wind fairies because they think we're useless. We're not. A lot of the time, we're the difference between winning and losing the game. As I walk through the map and see the ruined palace in the distance, ivy growing all over it, walls cracked, I can't help but remember the house from my dream with the silver branches. The park too looks similar, except instead of palm trees in Fairy Hunters, the trees are oak, and instead of a corner shop, there's the wicked woodlands where the wizards live. Almost an hour later, I'm just about to be crowned most valuable player when Dad's voice floats up from the living room beneath me. Sophia, he calls, piercing the bubble that my headphones have formed. Dinner. And just like that, the spell is broken. Now for the questions. I think if you get them right, you should reward yourself, but I'll let you decide with your parents how you do that. So the first question is, when you play on Team Fairy, what are the 4 different positions you can play as? Question 2 is, how old was Sophia when she started playing video games? And question 3 is, what is the name of the woodlands where the wizards live? So see how many of those you can get right. So I thought I'd leave you with a bit of a writing tip. The next time you have to do a piece of writing for school or just for fun, try and imagine it like you're playing a video game. So what you do is you imagine the character, the setting, and the goal. So the goal that your character has, what they want to achieve. And once you have those 3 things, you can just let your imagination run wild. Thank you for watching my video, and happy reading and writing.